Scott, if you want to switch with Dr. Sama, that'd be no problem. Thank you so much for helping me out. We're switching videotapers from Scotty, our athletic trainer, is fantastic. Mary's front desk, thank you so much, Mary, great job. This is Dr. Sama, rugby guy right now, rugby king, is now doing the videotaping. So thank you so much, Dr. Sama. So now we got up. Now, it's during the day, and you say, so how do I do things during the day? So let's go number one, just the sitting. People say, you want to have your kids do better in school? Just change their posture. So we know if a kid sits in school like this with bad posture, he's getting poor blood and oxygen to his lungs. Number one, it's obviously terrible for his back and everything else. But if he doesn't get good blood and oxygen, what's he going to do? He's going to start to yawn. Next thing you know, he's dozing off, he's exhausted, he doesn't even know what's going on. If he can just sit up straight, you want to always have the knees at least level or at least a little bit above the hips. If he sits up straight and you can actually do things during class, we do lectures, get fit while you sit, stress reduction. So we'll have guys in certain companies, every time the phone rings, they're gonna get up, and while they're on the phone, they're walking in place. They're doing lunges. They're doing toe raises. They're doing a lightweight with one hand. They'll do it with the other hand. So every time they answer the phone, they're actually getting in better shape versus just sitting all day. And then some people, which is brutal, and I'm not one to judge because I grew up in the Mountain Dew generation. That was my old treat. Is if I was good, I'd get a Mountain Dew. 44 grams of sugar, I was all over it, man. I love the sugar. I can't lie to you, I'm a sugar addict. So here's my Coke. If I have one Coke or Mountain Dew, it will take how many glasses of water? You can see I was drinking my water a little earlier. How many glasses of water to counteract the toxicity and the crap in the normal typical cans of pop? 13. So I want to drink the water. If you want to be weaker in sports, if I was going to try and curl or bench press against Sama, I'd say, hey, have a candy bar. So if he has sugar, it immediately weakens his body 5 to 10% because that sugar is so bad for the body. So we want to drink water. How much water should we drink a day? There's different thoughts on this, but I'm going to give you a typical cup. So I weigh 230, 235. I tell people, now you see this is a small cup. I say for the small cups, for me, that's literally a sip or two. I'll typically have 2 of these an hour. And so normally for me, since I weigh 230, I'm going to have 23 cups per day. It's only 2 an hour. And if I'm exercising, I'll add an extra 2. It's a generic thing for weight. If I have a small glass, 8 ounces or less of water, per every 10 pounds, that's going to at least keep me hydrated. And especially if I'm exercising, I'll add a little bit more. So if you can stay hydrated, it's fantastic for you. So if you have muscle aches, other things, body aches, anything like that, you don't sleep well, you're constipated, number one, obviously talk with your chiropractor, but also make sure that you're drinking enough water to stay healthy. Now another thing, this is an easy fix for most people. So a lot of guys will sit, and if you look at them, they actually sit like this. And it's like, what the heck's going on? They're driving all day, they're driving a truck, a car, they're at work, they're on the computer. Why are they sitting like this? Because they're sitting on their wallet. You never want to sit on your wallet because it throws your hips off. Put your wallet in your front pocket. Now remember, all these tips, they're not for you. It's each one teach one. So your goal is not only to help yourself, but help somebody else, change their life. Maybe you can save them a visit from coming in to see us, but if they're not improving, bring them in. Help us to change their life. And if we can't help them, we'll get them to somebody who can. So wallet should be in the front pocket. This is a typical one that I'll see with moms. And I don't have a purse with me right now, but we did a study in front of York High School with WGN. I cheated a little bit because we saw the kids walking in. So if I could tell you the 4 most important investments in your life besides getting adjusted, they're going to be great mattress, great pillow, great shoes, and a great chair. So I see this little girl walking in. She's got the Chuck Taylor Converse All-Star shoes, boom, 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 pounding because they're flat, no good arch support, which you don't want. You want a great shoe that's lightweight with a good arch support, ideally even lace up. I have orthotics in my shoe, which help balance my feet. And so she's walking up, and I see her walking up, and I said to her, this is her walking up, and she's a little tight. She's a junior. I said, sweetie, how much do you weigh? She goes, I weigh 89 pounds. So we weighed her right at York, right at the train track. She weighed 89 pounds. So then we weighed her backpack. Her backpack weighed 49 pounds. For every 10 pounds in a backpack, for every 10, that's 7 times that weight to your spine. So that's basically 50 times 7, 350 pounds of pressure to her spine every step. I go, how far away do you live? 6 blocks. How long have you been walking to school? My whole life, I'm a junior in high school. On the cement's unlevel. So is asphalt. So if you're ever gonna run, you never wanna run on cement or asphalt, run on a great track. So she's walking like this. So her backpack weighs 49. I said, who's ever talked to you about this? No one. So no one's ever said anything to her. No one said one word. Change her life. Make a suggestion, not in a mean way, in a positive way. Say, do you know how much weight that is? It's 350 pounds pressure every step. So she takes off her backpack, and so I say to her, does anything bother you? No, I feel fine. I don't have any pain anywhere. I say, you don't have any pain anywhere? I never have. I feel fantastic. I'm in sports. I'm in track at York. I'm in other sports, and I feel great. I have no problems with anything. I say, sweet, put your backpack on the other shoulder. She couldn't lift it and put it on her left shoulder. It was too heavy for her. I said, so nothing bothers you? She goes, no, nothing at all. So anyway, as she starts to leave and walk away, we get a video of her walking, obviously tilted to one side, huge, but she didn't have any symptoms. Believe it or not, she ended up marrying an emergency medicine physician, and she went into physical therapy because she could never get her head tilt to go back to normal. And she actually went in and studied physical therapy because her goal was to try and get her back to normal and prevent that head tilt. I'm still great friends with her and her husband, but she's still to this day, and she now works on her own daughter to make sure that her own daughter is standing up straight. So many kids nowadays, if you look at them, because of this or the computers, this is our new injuries used to be, hey, computers. Now the worst thing, oh my gosh, the cell phones. Computers, at least we can have decent posture. Cell phones, how do you hold a cell phone like this and text somebody? All the kids are like this. So they lose the curvature in their spine. They're completely screwed up from doing this all the time. Their shoulders round. Their ears should be over their shoulders. Instead, we call it forward antalgia. Their head's forward. Are they going to have a neck problem? Guaranteed. That's our future generation is going to be a mess because of the cell phones and improper posture. So these are some of the things you want to educate your kids about. Now, we'll test something else, and I'm going to have you emulate this with me because I want to make sure you're doing it the correct way. So with tips on this, so I'm going to have everybody at home stand up for me. Now do nothing that hurts. Just emulate what I'm doing, but nothing that hurts. Okay, head down, back, left, right, halfway, shoulder shrug up and around, opposite way up and around, arm across the chest, other arm across the chest, arm over the head, other arm over the head, tennis elbow stretch, golfer's elbow stretch, wrists in, wrists out, circles, opposite way. We'll bend over at the waist, knees bent, stretching that upper back. We'll lean forward on the right foot, keeping the left heel down, stretching the Achilles. We'll lean forward on the left foot, keeping the right heel down, stretching the Achilles. We'll grab something next to us so it's safe. And what we'll do is we'll do ankle circles, out, in. Okay, minute and 45 seconds. If you did that in the morning and at night, you're not going to remember all those. I'm giving you some generic starters. But if you came in and you had someone teach you the correct stretches, and then they'd assess and progression, say, oh, that's now too easy. Let's take you to another level. If they got your spine in good alignment, taught you the proper stretches and strengthening so you keep it in good alignment, I have patients, I'll use an example, FBI, John Larson, he said I could use his name. I met him 35 years ago. He's in better shape today than he was when I met him 35 years ago, and now he's in his 70s. He just took down a guy in Hawaii, chased him down and disarmed him after a hit and run, and that guy was a 30-year-old construction worker. He's healthier today than he was 35 years ago when he had a leg brace and he was a mess. What he's done is he's done stretches, strengthening, he gets adjusted on a regular basis to stay in great alignment so he feels good and he functions well. Basically, you're keeping someone moving. You find an area that's not moving, you restore normal movement, and then you keep it moving forever. I use this analogy. My spine's kind of like a hinge. I'm in my 60s, it's getting a little rusty. Every time I get adjusted, it's like putting WD-40 on that rust, so it helps me move better. So I'll give you a couple of easy tips for home. So those stretches, if you did those every morning and every night before bed, or even any movement at all, if you don't use it, you lose it. If you did movement, then that means most people go to bed, hey, they worked out, they did something, they're tight. Now they go to sleep. When they sleep, do you think they get tighter or looser? Tighter. Now they wake up the next morning, they can barely move their stuff. If they stretch before bed, drank their water, they're going to wake up looser. And if you have a situation where your symptoms persist and they're not getting better, what should you do? Call a chiropractor. Go on in and have it checked out. Make sure you're not missing anything. We get our teeth x-rayed all the time. When's the last time you've had your spine x-rayed to see how that looks? Kids usually wait till there's a problem and then it's too late. Do something, be proactive instead of reactive on everything.